Hello friends, welcome back. In today's video, I'll walk you through how to add custom capabilities to custom post types and taxonomies. I'll also explain how to link custom taxonomies with settings or create custom setting pages for newly added rules. Plus, I'll share some best practices along the way. Let's take it step by step. First, we'll dive into how to add custom capabilities. In the last video, we talked about how custom post types and taxonomies inherit their capabilities from the default post types. If custom capabilities aren't explicitly defined, for example, default post types comes with a set of predefined capabilities, and these capabilities automatically apply to the custom post types and taxonomies unless you set up your own custom ones. Now, let's break it down step by step and see how we can add custom capabilities. To give you an example, we have the admin and the author roles logged in. As an author, I shouldn't have access to movies and person post types. While I can add new posts to the default post type, I don't have full management rights as an author. At the same time, I don't want this access to extend to other roles like editor, contributor, or subscriber. Instead, I want to create a custom role with specific abilities to manage just these two post types, movies and person. Full access to everything should still be exclusive to only the admin role. So, how can we make this happen? If we don't want to pass custom capabilities to these custom post types, they'll inherit the default capabilities of regular posts. That means that any user with access to the default posts like author, editor, or contributor will also have access to these custom post types. To change this, we can use the capability type argument. If you go into the register post type documentation, there are several arguments you can use. One of them is the capability type, which defines the base capabilities for actions like reading, editing, and deleting. You can pass this as a string or as an array. When passed as an array, it even supports alternative plurals for constructing capabilities. By default, it's set to post. This explains why, without a custom capability, custom post types inherit the capabilities of the default post type. Here's an example. If we set the custom capability to movie, WordPress will create capabilities for the custom post type based on movie instead of post. It even handles pluralization for you, so movie becomes movies when needed. Now, if you want more detailed control, you can use the capabilities argument to define each capability manually. But in most cases, using capability type is easier because WordPress generates these capabilities for you automatically. One important concept is the map meta cap. This helps WordPress map capabilities to basic ones like edit posts, read posts, or delete posts. By default, map meta cap is set to false, but if you want to use the custom meta capabilities like edit movie, you'll need to set it to true. Also, if you don't provide the capability type, WordPress automatically sets the map meta cap to true. For example, if you use movie as the capability type for the movie post type, it creates capabilities like edit movie, read movie, and delete movie. You can then assign these capabilities to specific roles. Once you have created custom capabilities for your movie post type, the next step is to assign them to roles. You can do this with custom code or plugins. For instance, you might create a new role called Movie Manager, giving it only the permissions to manage movies and related content, while leaving full admin rights for the admin role. By using the capability type and map metacap options wisely, you can set up custom post types with just the right permissions. This method gives you fine control over what each user role can access and manage. Let's break this down step by step to make it easy to understand. So how do we handle this scenario? When we don't define custom capabilities for the custom post type, it automatically uses the default capabilities of the post type. This means roles like editor, author, and contributor can access these custom post types by default. To address this, when we use the register post type function, based on the documentation, there are three main arguments we can use to define custom capabilities. The capability type, this lets us set the base capability used to create read, edit, and delete capabilities. It can be a single string or an array supporting both singular and plural forms. By default, this is set to post, which is why the custom post types inherit the same capabilities as posts if we don't change it. For example, if we pass movie as the capability type, WordPress will automatically generate capabilities like edit movie, read movie, and delete movie. It will also pluralize this to create edit movies, read movies, and etc. If singular and plural forms differ, like person and people, you can pass an array like person and people to specify them explicitly. Next is the capabilities argument. This argument lets us define the capabilities for the post type manually. While this gives you more control, it's easier to rely on the capability type argument since WordPress handles most of the work for you. The map meta cap argument determines whether the WordPress maps general capabilities like edit post or delete post to specific capabilities like edit movie or delete movie. By default, this is set to true. However, if you specify a custom capability type, WordPress automatically sets the map meta cap to false. So we need to set it to true. It ensures meta capabilities like edit movie are derived from primitive capabilities like edit posts and checked against the user role and permission. For the movie post type, I have already configured this, but let me explain further. Here we are passing movie as the capability type. Since movie follows the standard pluralization rule, WordPress automatically makes it plural as movies. But what happens if a singular and plural forms don't follow this pattern? For example, person and people. In that case, you can pass an array like person and people to explicitly define both forms. When you call the register post type function, it creates an instance of the WP post type class. During this process, WordPress evaluates the properties that you have provided, including the capabilities. It uses the setProps method to ensure all the capabilities, custom or default, are properly managed to the post type. This setup determines how the user and roles interact with the custom post type based on their permission. So this approach lets you create custom capabilities tailored to your post's specific needs and role permissions. It's a flexible way to control access and functionality for different user roles. Here, we didn't provide the capabilities argument, so WordPress sets it to an empty state. Next, the WordPress checks the map meta cap argument is passed. If it's not, WordPress looks at whether the capability type, that is, movies, matches the default post capabilities. If it matches, the map meta cap is set to true, otherwise it defaults to false. In this case, since we pass the capability type like movie, the map meta cap becomes false unless we explicitly set it to true. If we want to use the map meta cap filter functions, we must set the map meta cap to true manually. When map meta cap is set to true, the WordPress calls the get post type capabilities function. This function checks whether the capability type is provided. If no capability is passed, WordPress defaults to post and adds an S to make it plural. So it becomes posts. If we pass a custom capability like movie, WordPress automatically uses both the movie and plural movies forms to create capabilities. For example, singular base movie and plural base movies. WordPress then maps the default post capabilities to these custom ones. For example, edit post becomes edit movie, read post becomes read movie, delete post becomes delete movie. In the WordPress code, there are core capabilities like edit posts, read posts, delete posts, which are used to check whether a user has permissions to perform specific actions like editing, reading, or deleting a post. For example, in the post.php file inside the admin folder, WordPress verifies if the current user has the capability to edit post. Right now, that is never going to change because custom capabilities are not recognized by the WordPress codebase. This mapping is used to validate capabilities. That's why it's added to the post object. These are the capabilities used in the code base. In the database, these capabilities are either assigned, created, or validated against the roles. All these capabilities, including primitive ones like edit post, delete post, and similar actions, are based on the base term we define. Here, a plural base is used. These capabilities are utilized within the map metacap function. If map metacap is set to true, these capabilities will be assigned or created and then merged with the default capabilities. If additional custom capabilities are passed, they are also merged with the default capabilities generated based on the given base. For example, create post capability is mapped to edit post. When WordPress checks if a user can create a post, it validates whether the edit post capability exists. For a movie post type, edit post is translated to edit movie. This triggers the post type meta capabilities function, which generates a list of post type meta capabilities for use in the map metacap function. If the meta capability type is set to movie, you can inspect the post type object using getPostType object function. You will see the capabilities like edit movie and read movie, replacing the generic edit post and read post. WordPress maps these capabilities to ensure a proper role-based validation. For example, when WordPress checks for edit post, it maps to edit movie. Custom capabilities are stored in the cap property of the WP post type object. Singular terms are used when assigning these capability to the movie post type. Now, let's look at another example with the person post type. Here, the capability type is set to person for singular and people for plural. This creates capabilities like edit person, delete person, and publish people. These capabilities are mapped and used similarly to the movie post type. Moving on to the genre taxonomy, capabilities like manage terms, edit terms, delete terms, and assign terms are mapped to default capabilities such as manage categories or edit posts. For instance, if a user has edit post capabilities, they can assign terms by default. However, if custom capabilities are needed, you can define them like manage genres, edit genres, delete genres, and assign genres. Similarly, for career taxonomy, capabilities like manage careers, edit careers, and others can be defined. These capabilities must be explicitly assigned to the roles to control access. If you log in as the author role, for example, you'll notice that the authors don't have access to movies or person post types. Even the administrator won't have this access initially because the custom capabilities haven't been assigned yet. To resolve this, you will need to specifically assign these capabilities to each role. To handle this, I have created a function MLB add roles to assign custom capabilities to roles like administrators. This function uses another helper function MLB get capabilities to list and manage all capabilities. It iterates through all the post type and taxonomies, retrieves their capabilities, and ensures unnecessary meta capabilities are removed. For instance, the create posts capability, which maps to edit post capability. It is omitted since it's already been covered. These functions merges these capabilities for all post types and taxonomies, ensuring uniqueness. Finally, it assigns these capabilities to the selected role. This approach ensures a clear and manageable system for assigning and validating custom capabilities. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Jai WordPress.